Here's a trip up La Jolla Valley Canyon Trail to visit La Jolla Valley in the Santa Monica Mountains, with a return via the La Jolla Valley Loop Trail. This hike begins at the Ray Miller Trailhead off of Pacific Coast Highway in the Point Mugu State Park area. The hike starts out with a fairly gentle raise, with the trail heading up on towards La Jolla Canyon. As we head our way up into the mountains, we begin to see the rocky sides of this canyon. And at one point we cross over an almost bone-dry stream bed just below what would be a waterfall in the rainy season. A little farther up we can look back and see the trail we've been taking getting up here. Then the trail reaches a point where we can spot some spring wildflowers popping up. These are daisy-like coreopsis plants. They're mostly found in the Channel Islands and occasionally along the coast. They're really quite pretty, as you can see here. And occasionally we find some quite rocky portions of the trail, which require a little bit of climbing and a little bit of care. And here we can look back and see the trail working its way up along the side hill. And while we're at it, we'll just take a minute to look around with a panning of the canyon we've been coming up and the direction that where we're headed. And then as we get to the top, the trail levels off quite a bit, and we head into some quite heavy brush. Then we start to enter the La Jolla Valley area. First we pass by a nice little pond sitting by the side of the trail. Then things really begin to open up. So we'll take a minute to look around in this beautiful natural valley up in the Santa Monica Mountains. It's a little bit of a surprise to find this kind of an area up here in the mountains. Then we spot a sign indicating that there's a campground nearby. And so there is, nestled in a grove of oak trees, with campsites and picnic tables available. We did run into one group of campers just packing up to leave. And then we take another look at this beautiful valley on a quite windy day, as you can hear. The wind, however, makes it quite a bit more dramatic. And luckily it was not a very cold wind. And from this loop trail, we can look over and see what I think is Boney Mountain off in the distance. This return trail loops around and heads back towards La Jolla Canyon. And then we have a chance to look down and see the good old Pacific Ocean down below. And then it's back down on the trail we came up through the canyon, through the wildflowers, and back to our car. After a hike of 7 miles and some very beautiful scenery.